Classics, the place to be today.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting His Lordship Sir Joseph, the Lord of the Manor of Henley and Arden in Warwickshire. Your Lordship, number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Joe Hardy.
Number two.
My name is Joe Hardy.
Number three.
My name is Joe Hardy.
Only one of these people is the real Joe Hardy, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our royal panel. Keeper of the Royal Garter, Sir David Niven. Barrister of the Kingdom, Lady Gloria Allred. His Grace of the Gridiron, Lord Lynn Swan. Lady-in-waiting and all-around great dame, Sarah Purcell. And our own Crown Prince, Gordon Elliott.
Thank you. Oh, good morning and thank you and welcome, panel.
Good morrow.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. Gentlemen, I'll get to you in a moment, but girls, wonderful to see you.
Why, thank you. That becomes you, I must say.
It does. It's sort of a royal touch.
Yes, it does.
I'm Australian, though. We used to hang Englishmen for sport in our youth. But, you know, we're not afraid of burning a couple flags as long as they're Union Jacks. But let's get right to the story. Sorry, David, we can discuss that later.
I won't hold that against you.
Let's get right to the story presented by our first team of challengers, all three of whom claim to be Joe Hardy. Now, if you read along with me, I'll read the affidavit. I, Joe Hardy, recently became Lord Joseph Hardy. While on vacation in London, my wife and I attended a very British auction. Up for bids were 26 lordships. I bought one and became Lord of the Manor of Henley in Arden, Warwickshire, England. The purchase price for my royal title was £85,000. My lordship dates back to the 11th century. One of my predecessors was hanged, then drawn and quartered, and another was beheaded. Along with my regal title, I now hold dominion over a royal court. It includes a town crier, a mace bearer, an ale taster, and a butter weigher. In America, I'm just an ordinary Joe. But over there, I'm the Lord of the Manor, signed Lord Joe Hardy. Welcome, gentlemen, and good luck, and we'll find out more about this very proper lordship after a small break. Welcome back to Tell the Truth, and panel, these three people all claim to be Joe Hardy, who is now Lord Joseph. So let's start the questioning with Sarah Purcell.
Well, thank you. Number one, why did you want to have a manor in England? Or buy a manor in England?
Why not? I'm an American. I can't have a manor here.
Okay. Number two, I was given to understand that you could only become a lord if you were bestowed that title by the Queen. How is this bought?
No, not any longer. Not since the mid-70s. It was changed in Parliament.
Was changed in
So
Parliament.
anyone can become a lord.
Will you pass this title down, or can you, to your children?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
We move along, Lynn Swan.
Number three, since you bought the lordship, does your wife automatically becomes a lady?
Yes, she does.
Okay, I bet she'd be happy to know that.
Really?
Not that she wasn't. There was the incident, of course, but nevertheless.
Yes. Number one, does that title entitle you to go to any particular royal functions?
To ceremonial functions, yes.
Okay. Number two, can you transfer any of that title or any of that estate to the U.S. at any time?
It'd be worthless in the United States, but I can sell it again if I'd like to.
Okay. Number three has...
Moving along, Gloria Allred.
Number three, why did you want to become a lord?
Well, I thought it was interesting to the history and gave our family a little class. And I can go to these ceremonial functions in October and November. preside over the court there in the elections. Be very interesting. A lot of fun.
Number 1, what are the rights of a lord?
Lord of the Manor.
Yes.
I can officiate at our annual functions at the Guild Hall. Back in the old days, the serfs would come to me and bring me their goods, etc., for my share. But now it's all ceremonial.
Okay, David Niven Jr., you must know something of this.
Ah, yes, but I'm not going to ask those sort of sneaky questions. Number 1, where did this auction take place?
Where?
Yes.
At Mannerly Society in London.
Number 2, has there ever been an auction like this? Is that where the auction took place?
It was held in London at Sotheby's and Dixon's Auctioneers.
All right. Number 3, did you inherit a crest as well, or did you design your own?
No, we can design our own.
All right. Number 1, can you sit in the House of Lords now that you're a lord?
No, we can't.
All right. Number 2, as a matter of interest, where exactly are you on the river?
Well, the city is located between Birmingham and Stratford-on-Avon. And there's not very much
Do you...
Okay, I'm sorry, time's up, David. Time is up, panel, for all of you, and it's time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote, with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, the team of challengers receives $3,000. Panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, we'll begin with Sarah Purcell.
Well, this is a toughie. They all seem to know a fair amount about this, but number 3 knew when the ceremonial functions took place. I think it's important to know where and when. So I voted for number 3.
Your Lordship, Lynn Purcell.
Well, I'm very good at selecting lords, but I have to disqualify myself because I know that Mr. Hardy also lives outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In addition to buying a title, he's a very successful businessman in that city. So I'm disqualified.
Okay, well, that goes down as an incorrect vote, which means $500 for the challengers and whoever it is. And Gloria.
Well, this is difficult. I'm somewhere between 1 and 3. 1 didn't try to lord it over me, even though I think maybe he's the lord. But I'm going to say 1 because he seemed to be pretty sure that you can't purchase a title and be in the House of Lords.
Okay, there you go. David Niven Jr.
Well, I tend to agree with the reasoning of my illustrious associate here on my left, but I, however, do not agree with you. I've decided it's number 3.
Okay.
Because number 3, I didn't ask the question where he auctioned it.
All righty, well, there's nothing for number 2. This could be a surprise. Would the real, as you can see, before I ask this question, let's just recap briefly. Number 1, 1 vote, nothing for number 2. Could be a surprise. Number 3, 2 votes. Now it's time to find out who the real nobleman is. Will the real Lord Joe Hardy please stand up? Oh, there it is. Well, congratulations. Now, so I never knew, when you said, give the family a bit of class, you know, I didn't know where that was going to be. Was that the reason you bought it?
Oh, yeah. Isn't it fun? Our friends and everything. Yeah, we'll have a big ball of it. We'll get Lynn Swan over there.
What about the Queen? Do you get to meet the Queen
Yeah,
privately?
yeah, she comes to a couple of these occasions. And,
Yeah?
You know, yep.
And how do they feel about having an American lording it over them?
Well, I don't know, but I think they'll come around.
Oh, cut their heads off. Number 1, what's your real name? What do you do?
My name is Bill Griffin. I'm a doctor of chiropractic.
Oh, really? Good bones. Number 2, what's your real name? What do you do?
My name is John Galtz, and I'm a senior quality engineer for an electronics company.
Thank you very much. There were 2 incorrect votes. As you know, Lynn disqualified himself in the vote for number 1 at $500 a vote, so your team receives $1,000. And thanks for being with us here today at the Tell the Truth. All righty. And after these few words, we'll be right back with a lady who thinks like a bird. Welcome back to Tell the Truth. I'm here with Bobo. And Bobo, do you want to introduce us to the next contestants? Number 1, what's your name, please? Oh, all right then. Okay. Burton will throw it over to you. He's not answering.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Chris Davis.
Number 2.
My name is Chris Davis.
Number 3.
My name is Chris Davis.
Okay, panel, it is up to you to locate the real Chris Davis, and this is her story. Please read along with me, and Bobo, you can read too, okay? I, Chris Davis, am known as the Bird Lady. I am a professional bird psychologist. I can help you find out why your bird is going nuts. I can tell you why a bird pulled out all his feathers when his mistress talked on the phone, or why another bird swooped down from the ceiling and attacked his owner, and why a bird hated her owner's children and spent most of his time screeching at them. Feathered friends need hugs and kisses just like our furry friends. As you can see, I have no problems with birds. Remember, the problem is probably not in the cage, it's out of the cage. People are such bird brains. Signed, Chris Davis. Welcome, ladies. Our little feathered companions. Let's start the questioning on this one. Bubba, if that's okay with you, with David Niven Jr.
Thank you. Number one, as a matter of interest, what is the safest way of kissing a bird like that?
Very carefully.
Well, I know, it's got a sort of, that pecker, what do you call that? Beak, yes. Very dangerous looking. As a matter, number two, what training did you have to become a psychologist specializing in birds?
I have a degree in psychology, and I grew up with macaws.
Number three, did you start off as a psychiatrist looking after children and then stay on with little furry things?
No, most of my experience with the birds is just from experience with the birds.
Number one, what is the major...
Sorry, David. Gloria, your turn.
Number 3, why did you become a bird psychologist?
Because I've been raised with birds and have a special affinity for them.
Number 2, are birds emotionally more secure than humans or less secure?
They're as secure as their owner.
Okay, number 1, what is the major emotional problem that birds have?
Probably biting is the major problem that I see due to emotional disharmony in the home.
And why do they have that problem?
It can be anything. It can be that maybe they're jealous of the man and the woman in their relationship. Maybe they're just upset about where they've been situated in the home.
Number 2, do you have a couch for
Sorry,
birds?
Lynn, you're next.
Boy, kids are having problems, and we've got birds with their own psychologist. No. Here we go. Number 3, you talked about a bird who got upset when his mistress talked on the phone.
Right.
What was was it his mistress or his owner?
It was the lady of the house.
Okay, number 3, what was she talking about?
Well, she was talking to her boyfriend, which created some emotional stress, and the bird was picking up on it.
Sexual competition.
Actually, that's true.
Number 1, you also talked about a bird that swooped down on its owner. Why?
It thought that it owned the house and the other people were the interlopers, and he was trying to maintain some discipline.
Oh, was that owner Alfred Hitchcock?
I've got cockroaches that feel that way about my apartment. And Sarah.
Number 1, would the information that you have to be a bird psychologist transfer over to dogs and cats?
Not always, because a bird essentially is a wild animal.
Oh, so it's not a domesticated, that would make it a big difference.
Right.
Number 2, they have the term bird brain. Is that apt?
No. A bird's brain is actually larger in proportion than a human's brain. So birds are actually more evolved than humans.
Number 3, if birds are not a domesticated animal, is it more difficult for them to live in a domesticated situation?
Yes, it is, and that's why some of them have problems.
Uh-huh.
Well, if that's smart, he can pick who's lying, okay, Bubbo? Time's up. Time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500, or the equivalent of birdseed, for each incorrect vote, with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is filled completely, the team will receive $3,000. And panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, we'll begin with David Fluffy Feathers Niven Jr.
Thank you, Fluffy Koala Bear host.
Well, you'll find us both in trees, hanging out together.
Well, I voted for number 3 because I thought number 3 answered the questions the best of the 3. So that's my reasoning.
All righty. Gloria Allred.
Well, even though I didn't have a chance to ask her whether a bird in the hand is really worth 2 in the bush, I'm going to say number 3 because she wanted to talk about sexual competition among birds.
We can expand that later. Lynn.
Well, I didn't vote for number 2 because I didn't ask her a question. So it narrowed it down easily for me between 3 and 1. And I think with the earrings that number 3 is wearing would be a distraction to the birds. And I thought I heard a bird chirp when number 1 said, my name is Chris Davis, so I voted for number 1.
Okay, you're going for the bird vote. Okay.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, right.
Well, number 3 really impressed me a lot with her sensitivity toward all furry and feathered things, and I really think it is number 3.
All right, there you go. As you can see, recapping the votes, 1 vote for number 1, none for number 2. 3 votes for number 3. Let's find out who the real bird lady is. Will the real Chris Davis please stand up? There you go. You didn't listen to the birds, and he found out.
Hey.
There you go.
Well done, man. Thank you.
Chris, do these little fellas talk? I'll bring a microphone over.
Yes,
and
Baby
which
just
one
said-
talks?
Baby just said hi here. I don't know. They don't talk on cue. Basically, what I like to teach people is to appreciate them for themselves and to love them for themselves.
Not for their conversation.
Right, and they will say things when they feel like it, but
Just
I don't
for being
force
beautiful.
them to do it. Yeah,
I've known women
I
like
love
that.
them
Yes.
for being beautiful.
Yeah. And let me ask while we're here. Number 2, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Sheila Travis, and I am a social worker here in Los Angeles.
And number 3?
My name's Pat Ames, and I'm an administrator for the accounting firm of Kramer and Olson.
And you're a very good contestant. Well, there you go. Bobo and I'll be back right after this break because you have already won $1,500. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for being with us today, to tell the truth. We'll be back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience after this. Welcome back to Tell the Truth. And Burton, dressed in your fine royal livery, it's time to play one-on-one, is it not? And who do you have for us today?
Well, Sir Gordon, today we have Tom Green of San Jose, California.
Okay.
Tom?
Hi, Gordon. How you doing?
Good, very well, Tom. We'll make you Lord Tom, just so you don't look so silly standing next to Burton there today. Here's your chance to play one-on-one. I want you to meet a gentleman with 2 stories, and Frank Meeks is his name. Now, Tom, Frank is going to tell us 2 stories, only one of which is the truth. If you can spot the true story, you'll win $500. Frank, what's your first story?
15 years ago, I flunked out of the University of Mississippi. I'm now the youngest person to serve as president of that very same university.
Now, Tom, that may or may not be the truth, so let's listen to Frank's second story.
I deliver pizzas to the White House. When I have to deliver pizzas late at night, I know trouble is brewing somewhere in the world.
Now, panel, to help Tom win that $500, you're going to ask a question about each of those stories. Let's start with story number 1, that of college president, and we'll start with Sarah.
Flunking out of the university that you became president of later is a big hurdle. What caused them to overlook that and still make you president of that university?
Well, fortunately, they didn't look at my grade point average of my freshman year, but what I accomplished when I did go back to school, complete my undergraduate work, and eventually go on and get a doctorate in education.
Okay, Lynn Swan.
When you flunked out, what was the one subject that gave you the most problems?
All the subjects. I partied too much, and so everything beyond that gave me problems.
A common cause. Gloria.
After flunking out of the university, did you ever return there and then complete your undergraduate work?
Right. The year after I flunked out, I went back to my hometown and attended a junior college for 2 years, kind of got my academic life together and went back to the same university.
David Niven, Jr.
Who was the next youngest president, if you were the youngest?
Oh,
I mean, was it male or female or?
The next youngest of this university, University of Mississippi?
Yeah.
I don't know. They were all much older.
Okay, now you've heard Frank's first story, Tom. Now story number 2, that of delivering pizza to the White House. Sarah.
I have to know, what kind of pizza does Georgia Barbara like?
Everything but broccoli.
Lynn.
Does he order enough for the rest of the staff or just a personal-sized pizza?
He never orders. He gets Dan Quayle to do all of his ordering.
Surprised he doesn't drive down and pick it up himself. Dan? Gloria.
Does Dan Quayle read from a script, or does he seem to be making it up as he goes? When he orders his pizza.
Dan Quayle doesn't have his favorite toppings. His favorites are whatever the president wants his favorites to be.
Oh, okay. David.
Who do you work for?
Domino's Pizza.
Right. Now, Tom, you've heard the cross-examination. Is Frank the college president, or does he deliver pizza?
Well, it comes from my own personal experience. Being the youngest guy in my department, I definitely know if there's anybody younger, so I would go with the pizza delivery.
All right. If you're right, you win $500. Frank, what is your true story?
Well, to tell the truth, I deliver Domino's Pizza.
Congratulations, Tom. You've won $500, and thanks for playing one-on-one. And before we go, has the president ever asked for his money back because you got there late?
No, we would be sure to get all the president's pizzas there on time. So.
Okay, thanks very much. We'll be right back after these few words. Don't go away. Well, panel, you were tremendous.
Well, so were you. You were just terrific.
You were so good, we should all come back and do the same thing again tomorrow.
Yes! What a
Okay.
good idea.
We'll see you at the same time next time on To Tell the Truth. Bye-bye.
This is Burton Richardson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson television production.
To Tell the Truth is next on 6, the place to be to